There's the Queen's team, the home team here at the Dub Arena, starting off the Electric Ireland Sigerson Cup for 2024. There's 3 games on tonight, one in Cork, one in Galway, and this one in Belfast. And Queens, of course, in the traditional green, are kicking us off here at 7 o'clock against DCU, Dublin City University. So Queens have home advantage in the Dub Arena, and it's a fantastic little setting here. Now, for many years, Queens, of course, played in the Dub, but this is a different kind of pitch. It's in the same environment, if you like, but it's a relatively new development, the Dub Arena. It's great for spectators. They're all over the far side. Great atmosphere here. Not the biggest pitch in the world, but you have the glass there as well, and people in there in the heat, and then you over to the left you have a lovely setting there for spectators as well. Good surface as well, and just seems to build an atmosphere here. It's Queen's sport, it's Queen's University, and it is the Sigerson Cup. The referee and his officials out in the middle. The referee, by the way, from Armagh, Kevin Falloon, and the captain's going in. Now this will be interesting because the captain for Queens is Matthew Murnahan, the number 7 from Killyclogher in Tyrone. And I asked a few hours ago for the captain actually from DCU, and they said they haven't decided yet. So we'll work that out as we go along. I have Mark McCartan with me. Mark, you'd think they'd have the referee or the captain decided before now, wouldn't you? But obviously it's sort of a late thing.
Look, these Sigerson teams, as always, their preparation's always hampered because of county and club commitments. Between the so many more championships now with the junior, senior and intermediate championships at club level going on before Christmas, and then the counties starting back now. The Mechanic Cups and the prelim competitions have already started.
So it's a case sometimes of who's available, but for the captain you'd think, or maybe there's just 2 or 3 and they're not sure who's starting or whatever.
Yeah, they maybe have a leadership team and they just haven't decided who's going to take the
leadership
calls.
team, that's what they have these days. They didn't have that in your day, did they? A leadership
no, they certainly
team?
did not.
Well,
no.
maybe they did, but they didn't have the term. But anyway, it is Matthew Murnahan for Queens who's out there, and let's see about the toss. There's a bit of a breeze. It's cool, but I wouldn't say it's really strong, would you?
No, the breeze certainly isn't strong. I don't think it'll play a massive part. But as you were saying, this is probably as good a surface as there is in the country at this time of the year. And just to point out that Cam Falloon is actually he's a down man who referees in Armagh, which is unusual. He's actually quite a good referee. He lets a wee bit go. The game will flow. He won't be blowing up all the wee simple fouls. I do know him from the club football and down.
So what club is he from down then? Is he
Bosco,
originally? So he was Bosco, and now he's working or refereeing out of Armagh. Yeah. I get you. Okay. And his officials there as well. So it is round 1 tonight, and the game available to watch on the Higher Education GAA YouTube channel, and only there. Don't be clicking on any of those nasty scammers. It's free to view, and it's only this game on the stream tonight. Tomorrow night we'll also be streaming from Abbottstown at the Ulster University against UCC game. UCC, the holders, of course, and UCC, the very first winners back in 1911, 113 years ago, believe it or not. The Sigerson Cup was presented for the very first time in the Gresham Hotel in Dublin to UCC, and they are the current holders as well. They're playing tomorrow night. But let's look at the teams for this game tonight, starting with the home team. And this is the team that we have been given. In goals, Ronan Rafferty, who's from Drumcerne in Derry. You'll find 3 Derry men on this team. Aidan McCluskey is another one from Maherafelt at number 2. He's a brother of the All-Star Connor. And Dan Higgins at 12 is also from Maherafelt. Then they have a lot of Tyrone men there. Owen Corrie in the back line from Omagh. Brian Conway at 4 is Carrickmore. 5 Cormac Quinn is Errigal Kieran. Rory Donnelly is from Carrickmore, and the captain, as I've said, is from Killyclogher. Midfield, you have Joe McDaid there. He's from Lisnaskea, 22 just a few weeks ago. Cathal Hines is from Glenravel and Antrim. And then in the forwards you have Ronan Boyle, who's from St Bridget's. That's the club local to here. It's actually in their parish, I think. 11 Conal Bohol, another Antrim man from St John's. And 13 Luke Donnelly is from Eglish in Tyrone, and Dermot King 14 is Newton Butler, and 15 Joe Tunney is from your club, Carryduff.
Yeah, Joe's a really busy player. I suspect he'll play out around the half forward line, probably leave the other 2 inside. Joe's an excellent player. He wouldn't be far away from making it down senior squad. A very, very good player. And
how do you think otherwise that Queens might play?
Well, I know Conal Bohol plays with Antrim Hurlers, really, really good footballer too. I know, talking to Conor Egan earlier on the year, and he was delighted to get him in. St John's man, really strong, really powerful, really good player. Dermot King, of course, his father Barry, from Mana Legend. Queens, their biggest asset is always their teamwork, and they're going to need it. We were here last year, Jerome,
Let me just cut off there because I want to get to the DCU team. It looks like they're almost going to start the game, so let's have a quick look there. Cian McGuinness from Longford Slashers and goals. Up the middle, Sean Fitzgerald, Porrick Hughes. At midfield, Matthew Costello, of course, from Dunshaughlin, one to watch. And 19 is in there. That's Ryan Donohoe from Gowner. Well, he's wearing 19 in the middle of the field. Don't be fooled by that. So the rest is 1 to 15. Shane O'Donnell is a Donegal man at number 10. Shane Walsh from Nafena in Meath is at 11. Sean Jones is from Inniskeen, and there is the ball being thrown in, so we'll go straight into it. And it is Queens playing from right to left. That is Big Joe McDade there, number 8, getting the ball from the throw-in. The lights here, they're not really bright at the minute. Maybe they're going to get a little bit brighter, but certainly bright enough for the game. And a great setting here, as I say, at the Dub Arena here in Belfast. Very famous venue down the years. In fact, my first Sigerson was here when St Mary's won it, with the likes of Jarlath Burns and players like that, and Maurice Fitzgerald was playing for UCC, and a certain Joe Brawley for Trinity. That was all at Queen's. But those sort of boys would remember the pitches way up behind this area. They didn't have this kind of facility in those days, and it's Queen's just typically enough in the modern game now, playing a possession game, and DCU just sitting off them and waiting for them to come at them. This is Dan Higgins. Now, I saw his younger brother Connell playing the St Paul's tournament for Magherafelt, and is a absolutely special talent. So a good family there for Magherafelt, and the father, Jeffrey, is the chairperson at Magherafelt as well at the Rossa Club. So we're free here, and a tame enough start, Mark.
Yeah, DCU are setting up with everyone back, but with a definite sweeper sitting in front of their full back line. So that's pretty standard with most teams nowadays, and then trying to keep Queens to the outside.
They go short rather than trying to go for the point from there. It was a fair bit out, and that'll be the plan for DCU, to keep them a fair bit out outside that scoring zone. And that's just popped back out for Queens. We were here last year for their home game against Ulster University, and they beat them on that day, of course, the Belfast Derby, and it was a rousing performance, and the place was absolutely rocking that night. So they'll be hoping that home advantage plays again. They work it right over the other side. They've gone on a complete horseshoe from left to right, and DCU have turned them over. It's just so typical of the modern game, the way it's played these days, and DCU will be happy with that. And now it's their turn to try and go forward, and it's DCU going forward, but Queen's drifting back. This is Matthew Costello. Sorry, go on.
Queen's setting up the same way with the sweeper, with their contact line appearing to be on the 45, with a sweeper sitting in front of the full forward.
And then they're just going from side to side, so it's Queen saying, come on, have a go at us. The managers, by the way, for DCU, who are in charge of these tactics and these teams, Paddy Christie for DCU with Shane Walsh, and for Queen's Conor Deegan, who Mark mentioned, and a former teammate of his, of course, back in the early 90s when Down were winning a couple of All-Irelands. And Kevin Murray is in there as well, and John McAteer. This is Conor Corbett, number 15, Cork man, long way from home, from Clyde Rovers. This is Rory Keane from Mayo Gales. As I say, they have 10 counties represented, DCU, and the effort coming in from the Cavan man Donohoe, and that might get tipped into the net. Oh, I thought he was going to get in there, the big fella, but it's gone wide. That looked like there wasn't much panic there, but it looked like a great chance.
Yeah, well, I think it was a shot that dropped short. And in fairness to the big lad, can't see what number he was. Number 8, is that Walsh? Walsh was like a ton of.
No, Costello was 8. Walsh was 11.
Costello. Costello, obviously well known Meath. Great season with Meath last year.
This is number 8, Joe McDade, who he actually is a Fermanagh man. He reminds me of one of the Brewsters, who of course played for Queen's back in the day. Now this is number 6, Rory Donnelly from Carrickmore, and of course they had Tiernan Bogue, remember last year, was terrific for them in that game against Jordanstown. But players move on and teams can change so much in a year. But yeah, DCU, they haven't got a single Dublin player in the starting 15. I mean, that's a strange one for Dublin City.
Very, very unusual, considering when DCU were winning Sigerson's every year, half that team went on to win 5 or 6 All-Irelands with Dublin. Both teams are bringing 15 men into their own half when they're defending, Jerome.
Absolutely,
Looks like they're starting off very cagey, but let's hope it opens up as the match goes on.
Well, that's a turnover for DCU. And now they'll sprint forward, and there's a man clear on this side. It's Kevin Quinn who's calling for it. He might get it actually, but instead, no, the kick goes in, and I think he might get is he going to get a free? No, he's not. I thought the referee might have given advantage, but no. So no score there, and maybe he'd have been better passing there. But that's the problem for forwards. There's so much pressure put on them when they get into that area. And then the coach will be saying, I told you not to waste it. Don't be kicking from there. Cathal Hines, number 9 for Queens. He's from the Con McGee's Glenravel club in County Antrim. This is Joe McDade from Lisnaskea and Fermanagh. Dan Higgins out to Diarmuid King, and it's spilled, and another turnover. And you end up, Mark, talking more about turnovers than scores, unfortunately.
Yeah, in fairness, DCU trying to, when they get the ball on a turnover, they try to go very, very quickly, probably quicker than Queens are going, but they haven't made that breakthrough just yet.
Sean Fitzgerald, the number 3, trying to get involved there. He's from Barna in Galway. Yeah, I know what you mean. When they turned over, they really sprinted forward at once, but it didn't quite come off. But maybe that's the way to try and beat the blanket defence, to try and get back or get forward before they get back. This is Matthew Costello now, the Dóchas man that we were talking about. Great footballer. Kieran Caulfield, also from Meath. He's from Trim. This is Keelan McGann from Longford. They've actually 3 Longford men in the starting 15, and 3 from Meath, 2 from Cavan. This is Sean Jones from Enniskeane Grattans in East Monaghan, I think it's called. And there you see the advantage of having all the men back. It's Rory Donnelly who got a hand to it. 5 Tyrone defenders out of 6, and 2 of them from Carrickmore. And anyone who knows Carrickmore will know that that's where they breed teak tough cornerbacks and defenders. Good ball in there to Diarmuid King, and he takes it nicely, and of course he did, because it was beautifully played to him. Bounced just in front of him, but forced to come back out because there's double teaming there by DCU. So we've gone 6 minutes, no score. Could have had a goal, but no scores. Yeah,
well, again, another way to beat the blanket, Jerome, is the kick pass in. And Queen seem to be trying to do that into their full forward line. They're leaving young Diarmuid King up there on his own, and they seem to be trying to get the ball in first time to him.
But when he got that lovely ball, he was so far out in the right and he had no support.
Yeah, and there was nobody really coming off him.
Going forward, this is Aidan McCluskey wearing number 2. A little give and go from him, and the referee had given advantage, and he's going to bring it back. So the pattern,
I think that's the first free of the game. Jerome, as I was saying beforehand, he does like to let it go a wee bit. I actually quite like him as a referee.
Yeah, now you mention it, yeah, he has been letting it go. There was 1 or 2 there, but yeah, let it go. Luke Donnelly, now from Eglish, turned 21 years old on the 18th of December. So he has a chance from just outside the 45. Good central area. He's going to try and nip inside just about. Give it a good dig, but I think it's going to the right. Is it going to come in?
No. Right and wide, yeah. Just another thing I noticed there, Jerome, there's a lot of players slipping. I wonder is that maybe they're not used to the hard ground. Maybe they're wearing the wrong studs. Maybe mouldies is what's
well, they're not expecting the ground to be so firm, so good. Yeah, I noticed that. There was actually King down the left here. Slipped a minute ago, yeah. But like, it's hard to get a decent pitch this time of year, but this isn't super conditioned.
These are as good, as I said before, this will be as good a pitch as there is in the country today. It's a nice
we were actually down at 1 before Christmas, and we were expecting, it was a terrible 2 or 3 days of rain, and it was in Aughard and Tyrone, and the pitch was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was a good day for Carried Off, Joe.
Oh yeah, that's the one, yeah. I didn't mean to give you that chance to mention that, but work away.
Yeah, we'll just mention our minor ladies winning the Ulster title. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I just mentioned the breed of 3 of them.
That's true, they have indeed.
But you're on the way. And you have a man here tonight from your club, Carried Off, just outside Belfast, Joe Tunney's at number 15 for Queens. And this is DCU coming all the way back out to Shane Walsh, to that's Kieran Caulfield, number 7. Now inside the 45. Will somebody fancy it? Maybe Caulfield will. Gives it to his fellow Meath man, Costello. He's trying to get a little bit of space, few hands going in, and over carrying given against him. But that's what happens when you take it in there.
Yeah, I think it was a wee bit unfortunate, Jerome. I think there was 2 boys pulling at him. If I was a DCU man, I wouldn't be overly happy with that. Now I'd be looking to free in at that stage. But
it was one of those ones where they're putting hands in and taking them out as quickly as they can, but they're still making contact.
And here we go. It looks like they're on the break here.
Yeah, McCluskey gives it to his fellow Mahara Felt man, and it ends up with Cormac Quinn, and that is a brilliant point, and you're absolutely right. They hit them on the counter there, and it was that nice knitting together and speed on the counter that did it.
Yeah, the cornerback took it straight up, but there was a great cut run coming off the sideline. He got the ball, put it to the man who was running towards goal, turned sideways, knocked it over. Great score for Queens.
Yeah, 2 Mahara Felt men involved there. Aidan McCluskey 2 and Dan Higgins 12. Yeah. And then Cormac Quinn from Errigal Kieran put it over the bar. So the number 5 gets the first point of the game. Yeah. I'm remembering watching the Sigerson way back in. I remember the wing backs for St Mary's getting great points in those days. Cal Murray
Cahill Murray and Pascal Canavan.
Well, the other wing back was actually Malachi O'Rourke.
Oh, of course it
and
was.
The two of them were penning 50s, as they called them in those days.
Yeah.
From serious, way up in the top pitch here at Queen's when St Mary's won their first Sigerson. What a game that was.
They beat us in the semi-final that year.
Yes.
For Queen's. Very disappointing match for us.
Yes, that was the day when Henry Downey marked Seamus Downey.
That's right, and there may have been an altercation off the ball.
I
cannot confirm or deny.
A couple of years later, they were winning the All-Ireland with Derry, but like a lot of the Sigerson contributed to those All-Ireland wins, 91, 92, 3 and 4. I mean, so many Queen's men. I mean, James McCartan, to name one off the top of my head, but a lot of those lads were playing around those days.
Look, there was loads playing for Jordanstown, Queen's and St Mary's. The likes of DJ Quinn, Dermot McNichol, Enda Gormley.
They'd come through Jordanstown.
Yeah, they came through Jordanstown.
The Conor Deegans were a bit later, but did Conor go to Dublin? Was he?
No, Conor didn't go to university.
I thought he was maybe Dublin. Oh no, he went to club in Dublin.
John Kelly, Henry Downey,
yes,
Colleen Ratty, those sorts of guys.
This is McCluskey coming forward again. He set up the point a minute ago and just leaves it off to Joe Tunney. Gets it again. He's wearing 2, but he's been forward more than he's been back. They're just trying to knit something together here. They're just trying to find a wee way through that they did a minute ago. They're 1 point up. We've had 11 minutes, just that one score from play. But as you say, not many frees here. At least the game's flowing. No,
the game really is flowing. And in fairness, with modern football, all the players need to be comfortable on the ball. And McCluskey's showing that. He's coming up and he's set up the first score. Now there's a bit of altercation going off the ball with McCluskey.
Yeah, it's off camera here as well. But yeah, McCluskey, they got involved, I think, with Sean Jones, the number 14, and the two of them ended up on the ground. He was maybe in such a rush to get back, shall we say.
Yeah, well, I won't be surprised if the referee maybe has a word with his umpires here. No, he's not going in. No, he's going to leave.
I don't think it was that. There wasn't a great protest from Jones, to be fair, so we'll just get on with it. But yeah, nearly 12 minutes gone and it's 1-0.
Yeah, it's still quiet enough, Jerome. Both teams are being cagey. Neither team wants to concede anything. Both teams are getting lots of players back. It's a great fetch.
Absolutely brilliant from Matthew Costello from Dunshaughlin. Look at the speed of him going forward as well. They're trying to close him off, and they've done that. They've turned him over very well. He just ran out of space there and was maybe trying to get on his right foot. And that's twice that he's tried to get through, and they've turned him over, Quinn. So they're dealing really well with that threat, aren't they?
Yeah, because he's such a good player. Like, we've seen him last year, particularly in the Talent Cup, how good he was and how powerful he was. And you would be expecting great things for him and Meath in the coming years. But Queens have obviously targeted him. He's getting the ball, he's running through, we're getting 2 or 3 men around, we're not going to let him drive through the middle of us.
But they've also done very well not to foul him. I know you thought the first one might have been a foul, but I mean they sort of policed him there and brought him down a cul-de-sac.
Yeah. No, well, in fairness, if you go back to when Mickey Hart was in Tyrone, he used to do the tackling drills with the tennis balls so the players learned not to foul.
Sorry, say that again?
They used to do drills with tennis balls in their hands, so they learned not to foul, so they had to tackle the ball.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder is he doing that in Derry now as well, but
yeah, you never know.
Yeah. So give me that again. You have a tennis ball.
You have 2 tennis balls, one in each hand. You're doing tackling drills, so you can't foul. You can't grab a jersey.
Right.
So you have to actually tackle the ball. It's just a way of improving your tackling.
Interesting. Here's a chance of another score. No, he hasn't hit that right. I think he was trying to curl it in there, Luke Donnelly, but you could see what he was trying to do, but it just went slightly the other way.
But again, it was the kick pass in, Jerome. It was a kick pass into the forward line.
Look at this catch again. What a catch that was there a couple of minutes ago by Costello.
I think he's going to be a great player, that boy Costello. I think he looks like he's going to be top drawer.
Yeah, he had a good year last year.
Oh yeah, he had. Fabulous.
So it's DCU without a score in 14 minutes, but if that had happened back in the day, you'd have panicked about it, but now it's not really unusual.
No, you definitely find that most of the scores in games now come in the second half when defences get a wee bit tireder, and teams probably have to go for it. They maybe let themselves off the leash a wee bit and decide, right, we're going to go for this now. Yeah,
it's kind of staying in the game, and actually you're right. I mean, I'm looking off camera here. There's not a single Queen's player outside their 45. Sure. Every single one of them is in there. Is it a case that the likes of Conor Deegan as a coach who, he played in your day, is he just got no choice but to play the way everyone plays, or is this just the way that they've worked out as the best way?
Well, it seems to be the way most teams play, that you get you maybe leave 1 or 2 players up at the very, very most.
Is that going over?
Score.
Well, then you get the odd moment of magic from that, but it has to be a great score from distance, and it was a great score, and it was a Cavan man, Ryan Donohoe. And look at that, he pings that off the boot now. That is a beauty.
Jerome, you know, there's nothing you can do about that.
He's got the blue socks on there, do you see that, the Cavan man? And blue, well, maybe not blue boots, but he's certainly got blue blood, and he's put that over. That's a cracker. Up into the middle again, but you know, the Queens actually, they got away with putting it right down the throat of Costello there, because they have benefited, and Joe Tunney was on the break there to get that second ball, and now they've got a free in. I was thinking it was unwise.
Big man. But in fairness, Queens have moved their number 12,
Higgins.
Dan Higgins, onto him. Higgins would have the height for him.
Oh, I saw his brother at the St Paul's tournament, and what a fielder, what a player. He scored about 7 points, and they were all from 45 metres out. And there was one he caught from a kick out, turned and ran up the field and nearly put it in the top corner. He's a special talent, and Dan's a good player as well. They're a talented family, so if he's like him at all, absolutely brilliant. So this is Luke Donnelly looking for his first score of the game to put Queens back in front. Seems to have connected well.
No,
he's not. He's put it wide. Yeah, big crowd over in the stand, but it's a bit quiet, isn't it? Nothing really to shout about too much, I suppose.
No, it's still, as I say, it's still very cagey. Both teams, neither team are really going for the jugular at the moment. I think we'll see more of that in the second half. The only advantage really is that for Queens is they're actually playing down the hill at the moment, which means in the second half they'll be
There's
playing.
No hill here. The groundsman will be raging with you. What do you mean down the hill?
There's always a hill. There's always a hill.
Do you mean the road ends down to the left?
Yeah,
so from right to left.
It slopes from right to left.
Does
as
it?
we're looking at. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I never knew that.
If you didn't have a slope, it would just be waterlogged.
I suppose so. But Shane Walsh putting it in there. It was brilliantly taken by Costello and leaves it off, and the chance is for Corbett. 15. Brilliant goal, and it's the man from Cork, all the way from Cork, from Clyde Rovers. But what a move! And Shane Walsh, cracker, absolute cracker, beautifully taken by Costello. They've done that before, haven't they? They've rehearsed that, and that's a cracking goal for DCU.
Well, look, it's the ball to the far side of the box, with your big player on the far side going up catching the ball, and he didn't try and do it himself. He knew he was facing away from goals. Just a quick slip. Absolutely nothing Queens could do about that at all. You can bring all the players back and you want, Jerome, but with talent like that and a fielding ability like that, there's nothing much you can do. So
worth seeing again.
Yeah, look at that.
It's like old style, isn't it? Put the ball up there and win it, and leave it off to the corner forward. And Corbett did the rest. Now the goalkeepers got injured in the middle of all that as well. That's Ronan Rafferty from Drumcerne up in North County Derry for Queens. But after all the caginess, the high ball was put in earlier on. You were saying maybe were they going for a free, but maybe that's a bit of a tactic for them.
You never know. I just thought the last one it looked like he was shaping up for a shot, but that one was definitely deliberate. That was the outside of the boot, the ball sort of hanging in the air. It gives everybody a chance to get underneath it. And you can't ask much more than your forwards to actually get your hands on the ball.
Hey, it's
even
nice
if
to
it
see.
Drops, it's still a very dangerous ball, Jerome. If it drops and somebody gets a foot to it,
I think it's a tactic. It's
definitely it is,
reminiscent of an Owen Bomber Liston kind of thing. Put it in there to the big lad, or Kieran Donaghy
star. More so, yeah. And he was the master at it, wasn't he?
Oh, the hands. I remember being at the game against Logford when he first really came onto the scene. It was down in Killarney. It was like a qualifier, and within 10 minutes he'd set up like 3 goals. His hands were unbelievable when Paul Galvin was putting them in the net. Oh, that's well watched by the goalkeeper, considering he got a knock a minute ago.
Yeah, no, he did very, very well. Yeah, I remember when Donaghy came on the scene, he'd sort of changed football for a while, and then of course they had the Twin Towers with him and Walsh inside.
Absolutely, yeah. Oh no, I remember being at that game. I don't even know why I was all the way down there in Kerry, but I was at it, and within 10 minutes, this guy, he was reaching up, and his hands away, laid it off and caught it. Was just, and of course, that was him for about the next 10 years.
Yeah,
I think Kerry for 10 years.
I think you put up a clip during the week too, Jerome, of Michael Murphy playing for DCU, and he did some of the same. Now there was another, what a player he was, but he could do the same inside. And of course, he did it in the All-Ireland final. Do you remember? He caught the ball and spun. Against Mayo and scored a phenomenal goal.
Well, he was playing then for DCU, and he captained Donegal to win the All-Ireland at the same time. That's the quality. And I remember in the Sigerson final, or one of them down at Galway, He was a sub. And it was against Maynooth, who had got built up to being a rare final for them, and they got beat out the gate, and then with 10 minutes to go they brought Michael Murphy on. It was like, come on.
Yeah, but that team I think had Johnny Cooper and Aidan Walsh was on it as well.
True, yeah. But what a team. But yeah, Murphy. When you see Murphy now and look back, you realise how special that he was. He was unstoppable there, you know, and it was crazy that he was.
And the thing was, in the clip you put up, he was marking a club mate of mine.
Oh yeah,
Brian Cox. So he was getting a bit of stick on our team WhatsApp.
I don't think he deserves.
I'll say hello to Brian there, you know.
Like they could have put 4 men. Nowadays they'd put about 6 men around there, wouldn't they? You know,
probably
they'd put 2 men in front of him, and they'd all have to mark him. You know.
Yeah. No, I think Brian was in a sweeper, and then the fullback got injured, and he had to go in and mark him.
So he wasn't even meant to mark him?
He wasn't even meant to mark him.
So he hadn't time to research it. That's a wide. So 20 minutes gone, and it's 1-1 to a point, just the 3 scores. And the shining beacon from that first half was that little moment when DCU got a goal, and you can see how huge it is looking at the scoreline, because it's 1-1 to a point. Only 2 points apart from that. Yeah. All 3 scores from play though, and here come Queens trying to get another one.
In fairness, there's a definite tactic there of breaking Costello in around the middle of the park. They're getting 4 or 5 men around him.
That's Dan Higgins, and he's put it wide. That's a lot of wides actually. They're mounting up.
It is. Look, this game is very, very even, and the difference is the goal. But Queens have had 3 scoreable wides. They've had the free kick and then the last 2 there. You know, if they'd have scored even 2 of them, it's a 1-point game, Jerome.
Paul McAnallen on the YouTube live chats reminded me that Dean Rock was in that DCU team as well.
No, it was a who's who of football. They were just phenomenal.
But it's amazing now though as well that DCU tonight don't have a single dub in the starting 15. I mean, it's Dublin City University, and they've got 10 counties represented, so it's a different sort of look about them, although Paddy Christie is there as a manager. But yeah, they've always had plenty of talented dubs. Paddy Andrews I think he was the captain in 2009 or around that era.
I remember Mannion. From him, all right. Did Mannion play for him as well? Wow.
I think it was, or was he UCD actually? Can't remember now. But anyway, this is Queens now on the break, and it's number 11 Conal Bohol from the Johnnies in Antrim. Strong player, and he swings that in though, and it drops easily into the goalkeeper's arms, and Cian McGuinness says thank you very much. He's one of the 3 Longford players. He's from the Longford Slashers, and Queens nearly managed to get that over on the stand side, but this fella here's nippy, isn't he? It's Keelan McGann. He's a Longford as well from Keena, and he's got good pace about him as well, and he likes to go direct.
He certainly does. He's causing Queens a bit of problem up that far side as we're watching it.
Comes all the way over to Sean Fitzgerald, Galway man coming forward.
Keep going, Fitzy!
This is Kieran Caulfield. Donohoe, when he goes for a score, he's very unlucky there. The wind, I think, just took it over to the right, but they seem to be playing very confidently. They didn't score for about 15 minutes, but I think that goal has really given them a lot of confidence.
Yeah, and they're very confident hitting the ball, trying to shoot from 35-40 yards, probably more so than Queens are.
Interesting there that the keeper went short there. Queens maybe saying we need to get our hands on the ball here, and there was a high press on them, but they still have managed to get the ball out, so this is a slightly different approach. But there's a sweeper coming across just to get possession back for DCU, and DCU have a sort of a grip on the game. Queens have had a few chances, but they've been from distance and they haven't been accurate. They've only got 1 point in 23 minutes.
There's definitely been a change of momentum in the last couple of minutes there, Jerome. DCU seem to have put their foot in the accelerator.
But yeah, 1 point in 23 minutes for Queens. I mean, I'm actually looking at that and thinking I thought they scored 2 or 3, but they've only got the 1.
And they did have those wides that probably, you know, Queens will be happy enough with the performance so far, except for the last couple of minutes, and obviously a goal. And again, DCU will be happy enough because Queens will probably dominating possession, but then they're sitting now. They're 3 points up.
It's about staying in the game these days, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
They're doing that, but that goal would have rocked them a little bit. They'll not want to go further behind because a goal's a lot in the modern game.
Yeah, there's a yellow card there for Brian Conway there for Queens.
Number 4.
Yeah, I didn't see what he did now, but there's obviously something behind play.
Well, I mentioned the Carrickmore churn out good defenders. They also churn them out so you don't know actually what they did. They have classes in that.
Well, as a Tyrone man,
Raymond
you
Monroe.
would have all the inside
I
knowledge.
was an
and all
Oma
the-
man now, but the Carrickmore men came in and you knew they were chiselled from the rock. I mean, Carrickmore means big rock.
Oh, no.
Raymond Monroe and players like that, you know, tough men. Oh, here's the chance. Oh, he hasn't connected well though. And it was the number 5 again. It was Rory Keane actually from Mayo Gales trying to get his way. And this is where Queens now need to break and need to break quick, but DCU are streaming back and they're not moving it as quick as they need to.
If Queens can move the ball quickly up the right hand side, there's a free man. Yeah.
Oh, they go
Almost.
for the long one,
Yeah.
but it's intercepted. But you can see how quickly the DCU players get back. That's such a feature of the modern game. There's about 10 of them sprinting back towards their own goal. And now it's DCU have got the turnover and they have a grip in this game now. This is Kevin
Definitely.
Quinn from Wicklow, from Blessington. 19 is Donoghue. He's been in from the start. Don't be fooled by that number. And I see 22 there as well for DCU, and that's Joseph Hagan from Drummond. Come all the way back out because Queens now have got all their men. They haven't even left one man up, Queens.
No.
Not one outside even the 45.
Neither team are leaving a man up. Both teams are getting 15 men into their own half, into their own 45.
It's a sort of a smaller venue, isn't it? Maybe does it allow
Yeah.
for that? It's about trying to congest it.
Well, it's definitely it's not the longest pitch in the world. It is quite wide.
Yeah.
It is quite wide now, so you do get space with the width, but definitely it's minimum length. Like
Yeah, I was talking to a few hurlers before the
Yeah.
game and they were saying we wouldn't fancy hurling on this. It's just not long enough. The hurling pitch is up at the back here, around the back of the dub. Now, this is number 12, Keelan McGann, trying to find a way through, and Brian Masterson, number 2, ahead of him from Abilara in Longford.
good
Oh, now they've
ball.
got in behind, and it is McGann again. Well, he started it and he nearly finished it, and a strange clearance as well there. I'm not sure, maybe he thought there was somebody behind him there, Ronan Boyle, but they've managed to get away with it. It's a wide.
It was a great wee move, Jerome. If I look at it here, look, he runs away, ball over the top, and he really should have put that over the bar. But a fantastic movement, fantastic forward play there.
Yeah, they are
DCU.
quite inventive.
Yeah, no, it was really good.
Now these kickouts, as I said, they went short, but look at how high the press is. I mean, look where Costello is, number 8. He's right up there. He's the nearest to the goalkeeper. They're not letting them get the short kickouts.
Well, that suits Queen though. Because Queens will obviously go long here if Costello's in there.
Why is Costello following Cormac Quinn around? Has he moved up into the forwards maybe? I'm not
No
quite sure what's
idea.
going on
No.
there. And on the break, that's Sean Fitzgerald's. And that's all DCU at the minute. And this is Shane O'Donnell, Donegal man from St Eunan's and Letterkenny. And he's got support from the man from Blessington and Wicklow, but doesn't use him and comes all the way back out and pops it over to the middle and finds Fitzgerald again, who's been very busy, wearing 3, but if he
really
was,
come into
if
the
he was
game the
playing
last
with a
few
number
months.
3 should be that he'd have nobody to mark. Now that's an
Clear
interesting
ball.
ball coming in. They've gone for that high ball in again and the keeper read it well, but
I think he overhit it, in fairness to him.
Yeah.
I think he saw the man, but he actually just overhit it.
I mean, I applaud them for putting the high balls in
No,
there. At least
absolutely.
they're doing that, you know, and they've a goal out of it and could have had another one.
Well, the thing about it is, it's a variety of tactics. They're running it, they're kicking it in high, they're doing different things, which makes it difficult for the Queen's defence to know how to set up.
And maybe that's why they were throwing Costello in there and saying, you know, let's
Possibly,
just
yeah.
go in there for a couple of minutes and we will try high balls now and again. Whereas Queens don't seem to have that option. They don't seem to have a big man inside.
No. And first, to Dermody, he's a very good player, but he's not the biggest player in the world.
Now there's number 5 Quinn who put that ball in, and he's got their only score so far. But how many times, apart from the wides, have they dropped it into the keeper as well?
2 or 3 times, you know, it's criminal really. You know, you'd be better just recycling it, setting up, and then trying to work it through to work off a shot. Because we're sitting here now, you know, you've just under 2 minutes plus injury. You know, Queens need a score before the half, really, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely, or at least not to concede.
Yeah.
This is Cathal Hines out to Joe Tunney, and they're just going to slow it down here for the last maybe minute and a half of the first half. Look at the press from
They're
Costello.
pressing really hard, look. And they're going.
They're just not letting them out. This is great work by DCU.
There we go.
And they got the turnover.
You called it, Jerome. Queens have done well to get it back.
To have, that's Joe McDade. Sigerson makes players as well, you know, guys you mightn't have heard of, and then all of a sudden they come through, and you know, for years they're top players. That's one of the attractions of watching games at this level. This is Rory Donnelly from Carrickmore. Nice ball, but it's in the corner. they're not having any real impact through the middle apart from dropping it into the keeper's arms, and that was Hines who thought about it, but they're trying to get it to what they call the shooters these days. This is Aidan McCluskey out to Hines again. He pops it in and gets it back as well, trying to get into the scoring zone, leaves it off nicely, and I think that's Dermot King.
That's Dermot King, yeah, it's a good score. Queen's needed that. That was a good movement in fairness, and King pulled off his man, got the ball, knocked it over the bar. But you were saying there about players. I've always said, if you look at the Sigerson players from 3 years ago, they're all playing inter-county senior now. You know, these guys, they're 20, 21 years old, and they're 22, 23. These guys, 60% will be playing inter-county senior for their respective counties.
And that was better from Queens, and it was through the middle. It was a nice little give and go through the middle, and that's where they got the score. I was saying they were going down the wings, but they went direct and went at them, and that's what DCU are trying to do to them. It brings it back to a 2-point game, and both teams have had 2 scores in this first half, which has now gone into added time. Keane from Mayo, McGann from Longford, Fitzgerald from Galway.
Yeah, and I see Corbett from DCU's in on the edge of the square for the high ball. Big man. He's moving out now again.
It was Corbett who got the goal, wasn't it?
I think it was.
Yeah, 15. Yeah, when you've got 2 or 3 big men, I suppose you can sort of rotate them and put one in there and then another. I mean, look, you know who's nearest the goal at the minute? Sean Fitzgerald at number 3. Yeah. He's right in the square now, so it's like they're taking turns going in there.
In fairness, Corbett's come into the game when DCU have taken over. He must be very important to them. You know, he's got on the ball. He started things happening, and it's coincided with DCU's upturn.
They've thrown another one in there. Yeah. Keeper dealt with it well, but he wasn't under too much pressure, at least to start with. But that's about 4 or 5 times they've just dropped a high ball in there.
I think that was another shot again.
Really?
I do. Yeah, I think the way he was heading up, but only he'll know, Jerome.
Well, now it's happened 3 or 4 times, but
no, I know it has.
So I'm thinking it's a tactic. But hold on, here's Sean Jones again from Inniskeen. I thought he was going to put another high one in there, but he didn't this time. They're maybe going to try and play it in the hour. And Shane O'Donnell goes for the score and gets it over as well. And that was a wise option there, rather than just throwing it in. They worked it, and St Eunan's man Shane O'Donnell finished it nicely, and they're back to a 3-point lead.
Yeah. In fairness, they've been totally dominant the last 10 minutes, except for that one attack the Queens managed to get a score off. Playing really well. They're playing really well at the moment. There we go, there's half time.
Yeah, almost 2 minutes added time at the end of the first half, but that is enough. So how would you sum up that first half, Mark?
Well, the first 20 minutes I thought Queens were the better team on top, but didn't take their scores. Last 10 minutes DCU got the goal, took over, started really pressing Queens, and as you say, they did drop a few high balls in that caused a few problems. And they're sitting 3 points up. Probably maybe a 1 or 2 point game either way, maybe. But look, Queens are really going to have to pick their game up. They're going to have to try and penetrate. They're not penetrating. And when they do get through, if they need to take their scores, DCU will be happy. If they keep going the way they played the last 10 minutes, they could run out comfortable winners. But as a Queens man, I hope now Queens come out and pick it up in the second half.
I've been quite impressed by DCU, and especially the goal, the way they took the goal. It was the best moment of the first half, and it was definitely rehearsed, and it was a lovely ball in, lovely catch and lovely finish. Sort of reminiscent of the old days. You don't see too many goals like that these days, but it was a terrific moment. And you know, these 2 colleges didn't do too well in the league, and that's actually why they're even playing each other tonight. The 4 teams who were at the bottom of the league were drawn out first, so these 2 teams and Setu from Carlow and TUS Midlands, they're in a little group of 4 there, so the winner from this tonight will play the winner of that game, and the loser will play the loser from that game as well. So they're down there, so they haven't had a great league. Not that you can read too much into the league before Christmas, but they'll be looking for a big improvement here. But from what you've seen, do these 2 teams look like they'll be challenging for Sigerson?
It's very, very hard to know, because I watched the Rank Cup final online, and how many of those players from both teams will actually be playing at Sigerson? For example, I'll give you a prime example. Jordanstown, Cahill Glass, Connor Glass, Cahill's his father. Connor Glass is eligible for Jordanstown. Will he be playing tomorrow night? We don't know, because he's still involved with Glen. So this is the unknown that happens in Sigerson. You don't actually know the teams.
But they're showing their card tonight.
Yeah.
You know, this is the DCU team tonight. This is the Queen's team. You know, but DCU have been so strong. I mean, they've won 5 Sigersons since 2006. I mean, they've been traditionally a very strong outfit, but people would be saying at the minute they're not quite at that level.
Well, you know, we were here last year, and Queens were put out ultimately by UCC after extra time. Might have went to penalties. And watching Queens last year, I wouldn't have thought they'd have been here, and UCC went on to win it. So there's so many various factors in Sigerson. Because you've quite a number of games, you've injuries. Some of the boys will be playing at the weekends with the counties. Camaraderie, spirit, all that there. You would suspect that neither of these teams will win it, but you just don't know because we haven't seen the teams. That's just the problem, Jerome, you know.
Okay, well, we're seeing them tonight, and tomorrow night we'll see UCC against Ulster University. That's also on a live stream. For now, we're going to take a 5 or 6 minute break. As you can see, DCU haven't gone into the dressing rooms. It's very chilly here, but they've decided to stay out, whereas Queens have gone in. We're going in as well just to get out of the cold for a few minutes, but we'll be back just for the start of the second half. Welcome back for the second half, but we're a minute or two away because although DCU are clearly out there, no sign of Queens just yet, which means that my co-commentator Mark McCartan can throw in a few dedications and requests.
Yeah, I have a son who's in the Special Olympics skiing, and we were down at the training last night, so I have to give a big yee-haw to Ben McCarroll. And Paddy the cameraman was there too, and he gave me a load of abuse. But it was good fun. So just hello to Ben. How are you?
So good abuse, nice abuse.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Good stuff. All right. Well, it's another viewer you've got us at least, and there is a big audience tonight online. And as you can see, they're streaming back from their halftime cup of tea over on the far side here at the Dub Arena 2. The officials are out. The referee is Kevin Falloon, refereeing out of Armagh. But as Mark told us, he's actually a down man. But no sign yet of Queens. Here they are. They're coming now over to the right out of the dressing rooms. They went in. DCU didn't even go in at half time. Should we read anything into all that?
Well, they just might be a wee bit cold.
I was thinking something more tactical or motivational.
No, but sometimes things like that. But look, who knows? Who knows? These things, sometimes they play for you, sometimes they play against you. But I do know that DCU will want to take off and keep going because they were the best football played in the whole match. Was in the last 10 minutes of the first half, and it was all played by DCU, in fairness to them, you know.
I'd say Queens would be a little bit disappointed.
Yeah.
Only scoring the 2 points and at home here with home advantage, but you know, maybe they'll put up a big second half and give us a rousing performance as he did here against Ulster University last year to win it. But as you say, DCU the better team in the last 10, maybe 15 minutes of that half, mainly or at least largely down to the number 8 there, Matthew Costello from Dunshaughlin in County Meath. He had an excellent first half and a key part in the key moment, which was the goal. The other midfielder is Donoghue, but Costello goes for that and they miss it actually, and it's Queens who get it for Ronan Boyle, number 10, who's from the St Bridget's Club, which is in this very area here in BT9 in Belfast. And this is Joe McDade, this Naskee man from County Fermanagh.
There's a sub on number 17.
See
Queens.
that, yeah, for Queens. We just follow the play here a second. Man goes down, but the referee, as you say, he's not falling for things like that. He's not giving easy frees, but he is now. And that is going to be a free, and this is a good opportunity for them as well. Number 17. Actually, I'm checking. I forgot to put the numbers in here for Queens. Is it Owen McFerrin, maybe? I will check that in a second here when I get hold of my laptop, and forgot to write down the numbers there. I have a list of the Queen's subs but didn't write down the numbers, but I'll get that for you now.
Queens need to score this, Jerome. They have missed a few 3 or 4 scores there in the first half and dropped the ball in. Now he is kicking the wind, has picked a wee bit, and he is kicking into the wind, but no, that looks like good over the bar. Queens need that now. There's a 2-point game, so that's Queens right back in it now. So let's see if this game can pick up and maybe get a wee bit more intensity, a wee bit more pace and a wee bit more bite in it.
I'd say DCU were disappointed giving away that free there. They looked like they had the situation under control. Now that ball has come right down under us and it's kept in very well by the number 15 Connor Corbett for DCU, but Queens have managed to turn it over with their own number 15 Joe Tunney. Little tug there, but he takes a hands away and the referee gave him advantage and then says go on ahead, play the game, get on with it. He's involved again, Tunney, as Queens try to get forward. Number 17, by the way, is Paddy McCarthy, down man.
Oh, Paddy McCarthy, yeah, born excellent footballer. Was playing for Down on Saturday against Derry. Yeah, should have known him.
That's well left in by Aidan McCluskey, number 2, involved in the attack again. They work it out to Joe McDade. Joe doesn't fancy it, gives it into the corner, and Queens will have to work it back out here. But a good start to the second half for the home team. They've got it back to a 2-point game. This is McDade, but he's run into trouble, and DCU get it.
Great tackle in there. Somebody got a hand in there. For
yeah, they nearly turned
number
over
2,
the turnover.
McCluskey, was it?
He's got a free.
Again,
he's got the free. Costello involved there again.
Yeah, it was McCluskey got the hand in. He's had a very good game.
Oh, and the goalkeeper, the referee's moved it in as well, making it even easier. So a little bit of back chat.
Yep. Paddy McCarthy played full back for Down under 20s last year. Got the All-Ireland semi-final. Who were beat by Kildare, but he plays for Down seniors too. Played for Down in the run in the Talton Cup. he's a great prospect. Fantastic.
Okay,
footballer.
so watch out for 17 for Queens. Hasn't been involved too much, but Queens have got the first 2 points, and that's doubled their tally. That's as much as they got in the whole of the first half, and it's back to a 1 point game.
I've actually put him on Corbett, which, you know, I can understand that, because Corbett was a handful in the first half. Big, strong man.
Oh yeah, I see that. I'm looking off camera at that. Yeah, he has. He's gone on him. Good spot. Goalkeeper is Cian McGuinness. Goes short, gets it to Brian Masterson. The Queens try to press, but they beat the press really easily. And Rory Keane from Mayo Gales moves it on. And as you said in the first half, DCU, they do like to get forward as quickly as they possibly can. Now they're forced to come back out. Donohoe.
Oh, great ball. Just shifts the whole point of the
They move
attack.
themselves and move the ball quick, don't they? And they might open up, might get a chance here to hit back, and that's a great strike as he got it over. He has brilliant left-footed kick, and that is a perfect response. And you know, it's always a sign of a good team. They concede a couple of points and they can hit back.
But you know, look, it was the ball from this side of the field to the far side of the field, so the whole defence had to move across. And as the defence was moving across, Costello cuts back in on his left foot. Fabulous score from 40 metres. Really good quality score.
Yeah, so they make the ball do the work and stretch the defence. They were expecting short, and they go bang. Good, accurate kick passing, hard to beat. Oh, hold on, Queens might get in behind here. They've worked this really nicely. Might get a free out of it. No, referee says no. Look how many DCU players
tackling.
are back in there.
That was Costello again.
Hold on though, it might end up still over the bar. Well, I don't know how Queens got a point out of that in the end, but they did. It looked like DCU had cleared it. The tackle you were talking about, one tackle. And there it is, booted out. Oh, he took it really well, didn't he? No, he just...
There's more intensity, Jerome. We talked at half-time that there needed to be an up in intensity. The game has lifted up 2 gears here, never mind one. Far better game the second half so far.
Absolutely. Well, that's 5 minutes in, and sure, look at the amount of scores and all of a sudden now we do have a game on.
Yeah, we certainly do.
And it's 3 points for Queens in 5 minutes of the second half. So they must have done something in that dressing room when they were spending so long in it to sort a few things out, but that's much, much better. And DCU, it's being put up to them now. Donohoe, who played that great kick pass a minute ago, looking to do something similar, but still leaves it off, and a nice run off the shoulder. And trying to see who that was actually. Was it 4? Was it Jamie Grant?
I didn't actually see.
I think he's got dirt over his number, but if it is 4, it's Jamie Grant, who's from Termon and Donegal. And this is Shane O'Donnell, also from Donegal, from St Eunan's, but that has gone to the left and it has gone wide.
Probably worth a shot. You know, whatever win there is, he has it.
But a lot of wides at that end in the first half. I wonder if the players just trying to misjudge that side a little bit.
Yeah, I wonder is the far end. Maybe the far end is the car park end is the scoring goals, even though it's up the hill and against the wind at the moment. But
good break, and it's DCU get it, and it's Costello who has it. Read that beautifully. And this is number 15, Corbett again, the man who got the goal. That's a great strike as well. Is it going to go? And it does. It just goes over the bar, and that's really well worked. And DCU have hit back. They seem to be able to raise it when they need to, and it was really wise the way they broke it there, and they have big men up front who can finish.
Yeah, and it's those 2 characters again. It's Costello and Corbett. C&C.
And that's 1-4 now to 5. So 3 points for Queens, 2 for DCU in the second half. 5 points in 6 minutes. This is much better. Referee not impressed.
No, I don't think he's going to blow anything. He's just going to say playing on.
That wind is picking up a bit, you know, and it's going, I think, from right to left, so in favour of DCU in the second half.
Yeah, it's right to left and sort of towards us as well. So it's sort of going diagonally down to the bottom left-hand corner as we're looking.
Yeah, needless to say, it's also extremely cold, chilly. So
that's well broken away there.
Up against it in the second half, and they carry it in, but the referee had given advantage there and brings it back now, and they're going to get a free out of it. But DCU get back in so many numbers.
We definitely have a game in our hands, Jerome, which, you know, wasn't always going to be the case at half time, because if DCU had kept playing the way they did in the last 10 minutes, you know, tagged on a few scores. But in fairness, the Queens have come out firing on all cylinders.
They have, but DCU have also responded in kind.
Oh no, very much so.
You know, they've that bit of confidence as well. They've good forwards and they've men who can get scores. Now this is McCarthy who you were talking about, and he tried to feed it back out, but it was snatched away there.
That was a poor ball.
And it's a number 22, I was telling you about in the first half, Joseph Hagan from Dromard, who was in the right place there, but it could have been any of them with 4 or 5 players back there. That's what they do. And this is Kieran Caulfield from Trim in County Meath coming forward. And now, as you say, it's the Corbett and Costello show. This time it's Corbett.
I'm pretty sure Corbett played in that Meath team last year.
This is Donohoe from... he's just dropped that into the goalkeeper's arms. Sorry, go on ahead.
I'm pretty sure Corbett was,
Meath,
on the Meath team last year as well.
Push up a bit. Fitzy, pick up a man.
A lot of pressure up the pitch. DCU working really hard all over the field.
Very much so.
Quinn's coming through the middle though, and a rare chance to run through the middle. What can they do about it though? This is Tunney. Comes back inside and looks for Rory Donnelly, who comes in there, and Rory fancies that, and he struck it well, but maybe just to the left, and it's gone left, and it's gone right rather, and it's gone wide. But a good move through the middle. They'll be heartened by that. You know, the high press from DCU is one thing, but they didn't get the man back that time, and there is a sub coming on. You get the number and I'll tell you who it is. Well, 15 has gone off for Queens. That's Joe Tunney, the carried off man. And the number on.
I just can't see it.
You keep an eye on it and I'll follow the play, because Sean Fitzgerald got that very easily from the kick out. Absolutely zero press from Queens. They've dropped right back. Not sure if that's tactical or just a little bit of a lull or a bit of tiredness there, but they're not pressing high on the kick outs.
It's number 20 for Queens.
20 for Queens. I'll get that. Number 20 is Lorcan McBride, another Tyrone man. This is
big man,
anyway. Yeah, well, maybe they need a few big men on, because DCU certainly have their fair share of them. It's a free in.
Corbett again, getting a free. Bit of experience, felt the hand on. Mind you, in fairness, he could have just slipped, because they're slipping all over the field. I think it is because the ground is actually so hard.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Well, it's been freezing up here in Belfast the last couple of days, so maybe that's it.
But if you watch the ball bounce, you know, it's not, you know, it is coming up. It's like a dry day during the summer. It is bouncing like a normal game. So
this is Sean Jones from Enniskeane Grattans in County Monaghan. Just about an hour and 10 minutes down the road from here. Good angle for him. Right footer, fancies it. Has he got the distance? He hasn't. Again, they keep dropping it in there.
That's 2 or 3. You're right, Jerome. It seems to be at that end of the field. Maybe it's to do with just they don't realise the distance. They think they're closer than they are, whatever way it looks. Well
Queen's coming out of defence. That's good work from them. And look at the amount of yellow shirts up there. So they've committed. And Queen's now have moved it really well, quickly up into their forwards. And they're trying to get him behind. McCarthy is there. Joe McDade is with him. And between the two of them, they've been held up though. DCU have got their
very well
back
to slow that down there. They've got 2 men round the ball, slowed it up, and now they've got their players back.
Sure, most players these days are absolutely expert at that, aren't they?
Yeah, they certainly are. And it's you know, it's all about the team now. You know, it used to be you marked a man, you don't mark a man anymore. You just pick up somebody on the opposition team.
It's so hard to get in behind. You get a little chance, there's a chink there, but the doors close really quickly. Yeah. This is the number 20 you're talking about. This is McBride for Queens. Look at the pace there. This fella has pace. It's Dan Higgins from Derry, and he goes. Oh, I thought he was going to go for goal.
He was too, yeah.
They'll take a point, but I think he might have had goal in his mind.
Again, they worked it from this side of the field, right the way across, round the outside, and look, the wee run away from goal, or sorry, away from the player with the ball, and then just pure pace.
Yeah, and two-footed as well. You see there going into his left, but nicely taken point. But it's another score for Queens. That's 4 in this half inside 12 minutes, and it's a 1-point game.
There's a sub on for DCU now. Number 13 has went off.
13
and 24 has come on.
Is Kevin Quinn, and Chris O'Brien is on. That's a Wicklow man for a Wicklow man. Our club.
Famous footballers called O'Brien from Kevin O'Brien.
Absolutely.
One of the best footballers I've ever seen.
Really?
Man. Aki was a phenomenal footballer. Like, he played in such a weak, such a poor team. And then you've seen it when he played for Ireland against the Australians. I thought Kevin O'Brien was just a phenomenal footballer.
Queens with their tails up now, looking for an equaliser. The crowd aren't exactly on the edge of their seats, but they're hopeful here that Queens might be able to get a home win here, but DCU holding their own. 18 minutes to go or so, 17 minutes nearly now. 1-4 plays 6 4 points in the second half. Now, who's this coming all the way out? Is that McCarthy coming all the way out to...
No, it's not McCarthy.
It's not McCarthy, you're right.
Is it King?
Sure, but he's come all the way out to the 45, so he obviously fancies this. He's outside the 45.
It's a hell of a kick if he scores, it'll tell you. And he looks like he's right-footed, so it looks like is he going to hit it with the outside of his boot?
I'm not sure he's even been taking them before now, but hey, or maybe they're trying to do what DCU did to them, put it in there and let the big guys go for it. Well, they got the knockdown right, but it was well watched by Brian Masterson.
In fairness to DCU, that's great defensive play. They got the ball, and within 2 seconds, the ball is now into the other half of the field. They really do break at pace, Jerome.
They really do, you're right.
That's just fantastic. It's good tackling from Queens.
Yeah. No, two decent teams here tonight. Yeah, two decent teams, but they're sort of cancelling each other out, aren't they?
They certainly are. But there's definitely more pace in this second half. Like, it's a far better game the second half than the first half.
It's Queens with possession again, and they've been allowed to have that possession deep. Interesting, we don't get too many kick passes like that, but Fitzgerald just put a bat on that and got it, but Queens have got it. Maybe they're just taking a few more risks.
That's
Queens.
29. Is that the wee guy from Kilmacud, is it?
Well, I'll identify him in a second, but let's see if it goes over the bar first, because they're looking for an equaliser here. Queens, now he's got 5 or 6 men around him. Oh, and he's battled his way through, and he has got through.
Foot block, no.
I don't think he could get down there. He was looking for it, but I don't think so. DCU there managed to keep him out. I think he was going for... thinking of going for goal. He might still get a goal chance here. Queens are an equaliser. Oh, he's taken that beautifully, and that is Cormac Quinn, and he's put it over. He got the first score of the game for Queens, and he's got a leveller, and we really do have a game on now, and it is 1-4-7, and it was Quinn from Errigal Kieran.
Yeah, he did very well. It looked like DCU had that ball. I'm not actually sure how Queens got it back, but they managed to get it over the bar.
You're right, the 29 is Purcell.
It's Purcell, yeah. He played for Queens last year. He's very, very busy wee player. Did very well. Is he Kilmacud, is that right?
That's right, yeah. So yeah, they brought a few subs on, and the subs have made a bit of a difference for them. They've given something going forward, haven't they? Yeah, well,
McCarthy is a really good player, and then they've brought a bit of size on around the middle too, and then energy up front with Purcell.
DCU have taken a man off, so they've made a change as well. I think it's 14 has gone off, and that's Sean Jones. He's gone off. I haven't spotted who's gone on
yet.
But
22?
I think he was already on.
He was on already, yeah.
Yeah. 21 is on now, and that's Senan Baker from Colry. They've gone DCU for the big ball in.
Long ball again, unlucky. Probably should have held that. You know, it was a chest catch. But there's that long ball again, Jerome. They do like to play it.
Yeah.
There's no question, they definitely like to play it.
Well, that's where the goal came from. 14 minutes to go then. We're level here. It's cold, it's chilly, it's not high scoring, but it's intense and it's close. What more could you ask on the 9th or 10th of January?
That's good play.
Caulfield
again. Fast hands, look at that.
This is Caulfield. Meath to Cork. He gives it to Corbett.
Well, that's not Corbett. It's 24.
I know the one before it was 24
yes,
is
there's Corbett on the ball now again.
Chris O'Brien. I was telling you about the Wicklow man who came in. I think they have another sub on there as well. 21 is Baker. So both teams putting plenty of subs on.
Yep.
And Queens have it. Don't really hear the crowd getting behind them here, but this has been really good by Queens in the second half.
Well, it has. They've certainly lifted the intensity, and they're putting it right up to, you know, like as we said, whatever wind there is, DCU have it. Queens are playing up the slope as well. So, you know, in fairness to them, they're showing a bit of character. And I wonder, were DCU a bit cold after staying out?
What was that?
I wonder, are DCU, were they cold for that 5 or 10 minutes after?
Maybe.
You know, did the muscles seize up just a wee bit?
Maybe it's a good point actually, yeah. They're not flowing certainly like they did in the first half.
Certainly not.
23 is on for DCU as well, by the way. That's Johnny McGrady from Downings in Donegal. Yep. Now for Queens, McCarthy slips it in here to Jerome King.
Good score.
Is that the lead? It is the lead.
Yeah.
And they worked it really well there through. We'll have another look at it, but that is Queens in the lead, and we wouldn't have thought that a while ago. Nice play, as you say, McCarthy. Nice player, involved all the time. The King down and Fermanagh combining to put Queens ahead.
Again, that's the move DCU used in the first half. You know, running towards goal away from the man with the ball, and the soft hands, the soft ball over into the man running onto. Very, very difficult to defend against. A good attack and move. Both teams have been using that now.
Another change been made. Not quite sure who it is. Oh, number 12 is going off for DCU. So DCU maybe starting to not exactly panic, but they're throwing a lot of men on here, aren't they? They're taking McGann off. Is it 18, is it?
No, it's not, is it? Yes, it is 18. Number
John
18.
O'Regan from Screen.
You
were mentioning the Meath men, and you were mentioning last year Colin O'Rourke, of course, from Screen, and that's a Screen man there. So DCU, they need to respond now.
Great play.
Right through the middle, and this is a chance for the equaliser, should be, and is for DCU. Really well taken as well by Shane O'Donnell from Donegal, the St Union's man in the end. And going into the last 12 minutes now, we now have a game, and that was a really good response.
Yeah, look, it's just fast hands through the middle. Nothing spectacular. Really simple, really hard to defend against. Pace on the ball.
Short kick out under pressure, keeps it under pressure, and eventually gets a free. Corbett not happy about it, but he held on to it well. Going to give it back to the goalkeeper. It's Cormac Quinn giving it to Ronan Rafferty.
We haven't seen a sweeper keeper tonight now, Jerome. Both
no, you're
keepers
right, yeah. Well, this is the nearest we've got to it.
Yep.
He's not looking like he's going to venture too far.
Right.
Here's Queen's trying to run the ball through the middle, and got a little bit of space there to move into, and they use that, but DCU just drift back.
Yeah, but they got 4 men across the middle to prevent Queen's running through it, so they had to go back, they had to slow the ball down, and now of course everyone's back. We're just noticing DCU do not have a sweeper in at the moment.
Queens have done this really well. They've run direct at the defence. Now it hasn't worked here. DCU have got it, but they've done very well at winning it back, and they're trying very hard to win it back again, but this is DCU now with a bit of grass. They've got room, but somehow Queens have a lot of men back already.
They've given the ball away cheaply there. I'm not sure, just miscommunication there.
Yeah, I think he'd already gone. He was expecting the ball over the top.
Yep.
So a draw game with 10 minutes to go. And you couldn't really call it.
No,
you
certainly could not.
The way the game has gone. Both teams have a good chances. Queens have had the more of it in the second half and the more scores, but DCU still have plenty of men on there who can turn the game. And it's a free for Queens. I think it's way over on that far side there. And he's coming out again, or someone's coming all the way out to hit this again. I don't think they're going for a score here, you know. I think
they're dropping it in there today.
Luke Donnelly, well, he does take the frees, but they didn't bring him out to take the last one. I think they're just going like, put that in there and someone get a knock on it or a touch on it.
They've left the big man in there on his own on the edge of the square, like, and he's marking a guy who's 3 or 4 inches smaller than him.
Here it comes to him. Here it comes. He's in there on his own, and it's gone all the way over, but they're going to score, and they might even get a goal out of it.
Oh, great save.
I thought that was going to sneak in the corner there, you know. Yeah. And that could have turned it. Well, that's why you hit the ball in high. You never know what might happen. Nearly got a point out of it, and then nearly got a goal out of it. But the goalkeeper Cian McGuinness, did well there.
Oh, he did very well. He did very well. Because a goal there would just change the momentum of the game.
Absolutely,
you know, it would make it very, very difficult.
And you could say it would be lucky, but you know, they've been trying. They've been knocking on that door, and they haven't been afraid to throw it in.
No, they certainly haven't.
So a chance from the 45, which of course is very central. And Jerome King from the Newton Butler Club in Fermanagh. First Fermanagh's, isn't that Newton Butler? The oldest club in Ulster, or one of the oldest. Here he comes. Now it's gone to the left, though, and square ball, so they get nothing out of that.
Dermot, of course, his mother's in O'Keefe. The O'Keefes will be famous with your current club, Breda.
Ah, that's the connection.
Yeah, yeah.
Down to the last 8 minutes, DCU take possession. It's Fitzgerald's. There's a huge audience watching this game, by the way. There's over nearly 2,500 devices, not just people, but devices on this.
Yeah, I think Queens have targeted Fitzgerald for DCU in the second half, because he really made a big impact in the last 10 minutes, and he's just not getting forward this half.
And Costello's not getting forward. Oh, hold on, he's got a free though.
He's got a free now.
And this could give them the lead. Let's have a wee look at this one. I was looking up the pitch at what you were talking about, but the big man coming through the middle again.
Oh, it's pushing back.
Yeah, there's a bit of a nudge there, and it was unnecessary.
Yeah, it was, because there were people coming out to tackle.
Yeah, but Costello, he's just so strong when he gets running like that. And now, interestingly enough, the free is going to be taken by Senan Baker from Colry, the substitute who's come in. So he fancies this one. Now, it's a good angle for a right footer. Not too far out. That should be over. Well, it's just inside the left post, but it puts him ahead at an important stage in the game. But yeah, it's interesting what you were saying there about the number 3 Fitzgerald for DCU. He's been occupied this half. It's like Queens have said, sit on him and take him back up the pitch and don't let him be running up the field so much. But yeah, but I see Costello now off camera just to the right, taking up an interesting position. He's trying to get into this game more, but this ball has fallen nicely for the Queens midfielder Cathal Hines, and he's popped it in there, and it's Queens now who are just trying to keep possession. And they had a 1 point lead, and now they're 1 point down, and they're going to try and work it in. This fella's had a great game. Aidan McCluskey's a super young player. Well, they're all young players, but and most of them are super players, if not all of them in their own way, as Queens now recycle it and have to come all the way back out again, trying to get an opening here to get the equaliser. And they might have just given it away. No, they haven't. They've played that really tight situation really, really well. There's no space in there, and this is about Queens being patient and trying to work something. And for DCU, it's about not making a mistake, because everything is crucial at this point. He's gone for it from distance, and it's just dropped in underneath the crossbar, and it's really well taken by the goalkeeper, Cian McGuinness. He was under a bit of pressure there. He did get defence. He did get protection from his defence, but he still took it well.
Yeah. Queens put great pressure on there. They didn't let him out easy. Now DCU have a sideline ball, but just shows you the value of you forwards who are prepared to work and not let the ball out easily. And in fairness to both teams, they've been doing it.
They have, yeah. Well, that's where the turnovers sometimes turned into turnovers, if you know what I mean.
It, yeah.
They work so hard to get it back so quickly. But it's DCU with the ball now. In the last 5 minutes of the game, they lead by a point.
And both teams are leaving players up the field at the moment. You know, in the first half, they were bringing everybody back.
That was Corbett out around the middle of the field and left it off. And this is Rory Keane. Donoghue was there. Cabin man takes possession, and now it's Queens who have drifted right back. They've only left one man up, 14 men behind the ball now, but it's they who need to get possession here and get an equaliser.
I suppose what Queens are thinking is, if we can stop them scoring, we will get another chance. You know, there is 5 minutes left. That's injury time.
No, they're being patient in there, but the trick is not to give away a free, and this man is drawing frees, and he burst through. That's brilliant work from Costello. He took about three or four men there and left it off, but Queens have managed to turn it over. They didn't foul him, and now it is their chance to get up the field, and they're going to try and transition here as quickly as they can to try and get that equaliser. And I'd say that tackle was all about stopping them doing that.
Well, it's exactly what I would be doing in that situation, because what it means is that your players can get back, set up, get your defensive screen up, and then
sure, all it needs is 2 or 3 seconds and it's gone. That's a momentum killed, and they got a free out of it, which it's not a pile of use to them.
Yeah, again, it was good pressure from Queens to take out strip the ball off them, but it was again, you know, once Costello ran, Queens got players around him, and then he slipped it off, and those men were still there and able to take the ball off the player who got the ball.
Number 4 for DCU has gone off. That's Jamie Grant. Don't know who came on for him, but we might see that in a minute. But let's follow the play here, because we're now down to the last 3 minutes of normal time, and Queens at home here in the Electric Ireland Sigerson Cup round 1 game are trailing by a point. They've done really well in the second half, but is there an equaliser in them? Aidan McCluskey probing as he's done for most of the game, but forced to go left. We'll try another angle of attack, just trying to get an opening. This is the other Maher Felt man. This is Higgins, and he's forced and chased all the way back out again. So he goes back out to Rory Donnelly. Now the goalkeeper. Here's the sweeper keeper you were talking about, Ronan Rafferty. Comes up. This is McCarthy. Just hands it to Joe McDade. Joe likes to do a bit of give and go, so he'll carry it and he'll link it together. But look at the pressure being exerted on him, and he might even be dispossessed here. But he does well to keep it. Shane O'Donnell there put serious pressure on him, and they've forced Queens to go all the way back out again. This is good defensive work from DCU. They're set up well and they're tackling well, and they're not fouling either. They're trying to hold on to this lead as we're in now the last 2 minutes of normal time. But there's an opening. This could be the equaliser, and it is. Oh, he's taken it brilliantly, and we do have an equaliser from Queens. They were very patient, and I think it was Ronan Boyle, the St Bridget's man from local here at BT9 in Belfast, and that's a great finish and really well worked.
Yeah, you summed it up there, Jerome. You said patience. You know, they brought the set ball from one side to the other. They worked it. They nearly lost it down in front of us, and then they went down, and then it was he sat right out on his Boyle sat right out on the end on the sideline and got the ball and knocked it over.
DCU pull back level, but they're looking for the winner here. They're looking for a point at the other end themselves. That's a bad angle, and he's tried it, but he hasn't got it, and it's gone to the right and it's gone wide. And dare I say it, on this really, really cold night, we could be looking at extra time.
We could certainly be looking at extra time now, but what Queens will be thinking is, right, there's 59 minutes on the clock. There's probably a minute or two of injury time. There's been a number of subs, 20 seconds per sub. So you're looking at 3 or 4 minutes.
Look at the press again, though, from DCU on these kickouts. They're pressing so high all the time. If they get the ball over here and force a mistake, it's game over as well for DCU.
DCU have to get the ball, so you can understand exactly why they're doing it. Because Queen are,
but they've done it the whole game.
Now.
But Queens have broken out. And this is Donnelly. It's Queens now looking for a winner, and actually there seems to be a bit of room there, and he might fancy it. He slips it inside. This is crucial, this challenge. He takes it well, Rory Donnelly. Feeds it back out again, but DCU have defended superbly there, and they might even break here. There might even be a winner here. We're in the last 20 seconds. We're looking at extra time, unless Dublin City University on the break here, on the counter, can work something. This is Donohoe. We know he's got a good kick in him, but he leaves it off, and there's the effort at goal, but it's going to drop, and it might bounce dangerously over the bar. No, it doesn't. Well watched by the goalkeeper, Ronan Rafferty there. I thought that was maybe going to have enough, but yet again a kick has dropped short at those ends, and DCU might rue that, because now it's Queens with a chance. We're in added time at the end of this game. Well, it hasn't exactly been a thriller, but it has been an entertaining game, an intriguing game to start the Sigerson Cup tonight. There's games in Cork tonight, games in Galway. This one in Belfast is close, and there might be a winner here. There might be a chance for Queens to get a winner. They're at home here, and we're deep into injury time, and it's McDade. They've worked it well. They might get a goal here. Never mind a point. Oh, they have got a goal, and surely that is a winner for Queens in added time, and it is 40 seconds into added time now, and they may have just snatched victory here, and it's a number 13, Luke Donnelly from Eglish in Tyrone. He turned 21 years old on the 18th of December, and he's given a present to his manager Conor Deegan here with that finish. That was a great finish.
It was a great finish, but DCU need a goal now, and in fairness, they're all pushing up. There's going to be an exciting finish here, Tyrone.
Well, it was
the
a
last
sucker
10 minutes
punch,
have been
wasn't it?
superb. Yeah, but the last 10 minutes have been superb. We said earlier on that it might open up and teams start going for it, and that's exactly what's happened.
Well, they have to go for it, and Donohoe has put it in there. They're going to try and do what they did in the first half, and there is the goal. They've done it again. What a response. Well, this game has come to life in added time with 2 goals. They had to go for goal. You thought surely it's beyond them, but the first half they had Costello in there, and they had Corbett in there. I'm not sure who got a hand in that. It doesn't matter.
But in fairness, there was nobody marking Costello. I think it was Costello. Whoever it was came in from behind, nobody marking them, and a great left fist right into the goal.
Blimey, what a finish we have. 62 minutes nearly gone, and what was it, 2-1 after about 15 minutes, and you were saying all the scores come at the end, and they have all come at the end.
It's just the way football's played now, Jerome. Teams tend to play the first half cagey, go for it more in the second half.
Oh, I know.
And then teams get tired, defences get tired.
I tell this story about there was a fella last year. He said to me, "Oh, this game today," he was coming into the ground, and he said it'll be a 5-minute game. I'm like, what are you talking about? Stay in the game, and then it all happens in the last 5 minutes. Well, it's all happened here in added time. Queens must have thought that they'd won it. They equalised and they'd got a goal, and surely with the scores being at a premium, you think a goal, that's it. But fair play to DCU. Queen's not finished yet, though.
No.
62 and a half minutes gone. Is there another chance in this game? Surely there is. If they can get a point here, they're going to win it. Queens, now he's charged in there, the referee's play. Oh, it's a free in. It's a free in, and that could be the opportunity for Queens to get the winner. Have another look at it here, Mark.
Yeah, I think it was a charge. I think he jumped in. Oh no, maybe not.
Was it not for the next challenge?
Yeah, it was.
I think it was for the next
Yeah.
arm
Well,
that went in, and
I
he's
actually
given
thought
a
he
free
had jumped
in.
into
Oh,
it,
and the
but I don't
referee's
think
brought
he
it in as well, so obviously
Somebody
DCU have said something.
something.
Well, after getting back into the game, it looks like they have just blown it.
Well, we don't know yet, Jerome, the way this game's going.
Well, he's not going to miss this, but you mean from after
Yeah.
this? I don't know. I don't think there'll be time.
Well, the only
Oh, and
thing
the
is-
way the referee's walking back, you can always tell. Look where he is. He's not
Yeah.
running out to the middle of the field. He
He's,
might be going, that's it. Or no, there's a substitution. I know he hasn't. I thought Donahue was going
He
off.
was
but he's
definitely talking
just
in his
away
ear.
over that
There we
side.
go.
There, I told you, it's over. It's Queens
Big
have
win
won
for
it.
Queens.
Well, we were here
big
last
win
year
for
for
Queens.
Queens to beat Jordanstown at home in a rousing game, and this eventually was a rousing finish. And Queens will be absolutely thrilled. They seem to have lost that. They seem to have won it. They seem to have drawn it, and then they did win it in the end. What a great finish!
Yeah, look, the second half was a really good game of football. The match got better as the game went on. It started slow and just built and built. DC will be very disappointed, because the last 10 minutes of half time was probably the best football played by any team. But in fairness to Queens, they came out after half time. I think maybe DCU were a bit caught cold. Maybe their muscles are. And see, once you get a wee bit of momentum, like Queens came back at them, and well, the last 10 minutes was just frantic. Pity the whole match wasn't like that. But DC will be disappointed, but I don't think they'll be out of it. They look two decent sides, as I said. I don't think either side will be winning it, but you never know. You just never know in this competition, and that's what makes it so good.
Well,
you never know who will win it.
Round 2 next week, the winners from here, Queens, will play either Setu Carlow or TUS Midlands. I think they play tomorrow night.
Okay.
And the losers will play the losers of that game as
Yeah,
well.
okay.
So that's the way it's going to work out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's going to happen next.
So,
And then I think there's an open draw again for round 3, but
Right.
that's the way it's going from here. But look, Queens will be just absolutely thrilled to get that result there
Absolutely,
tonight.
yeah.
The way the game went at the end there, especially with conceding the goal, but they did so well to get forward, and they got that decision there at the end, and I think it was just a stray arm that just caught, but the referee was right beside it, and he said free in. And
But I
is
think
this
the two
it
or
here?
three-
No, that's
yeah,
no, this is the goal.
yeah, but the 2 or 3 subs for Queens worked very well.
That's a great
George
finish.
McCluskey there was involved, or sorry, not McCluskey. Purcell was involved in that.
Here's the incident now
Yeah.
that they got the free from. So I don't think it was for this. I think it's a hand that comes in like there.
Yeah.
And you can see the DCU player was at Caulfield, and he put his hands to his head immediately. He goes, no, surely not. But I think that was the key decision. Now here is the DCU goal that we had in added time as well.
It
When we
is
thought they
it
were
is
out of
Costello,
it.
yeah,
Oh, it was.
yeah.
Yeah, it was. Oh, what a finish.
Mhm.
Well, so, that high ball in there. And it's been really interesting tonight to look at the high balls. I mean, those 2 goals that they scored were both from high balls in, and Queens had some joy as well from those balls in too, so it's interesting to see that tactic being used a lot.
Yeah, well, Conor Dagan was a phenomenal full-back, and he won't be happy with that goal, because a man of that size shouldn't get the run. You should be boxing him out rather than actually trying to contest with him. Keep him out, make sure he doesn't get in to fist the ball in. But look, he's a handful, Costello. Like he's just a phenomenal footballer, as the 2 Meath guys there as well.
Yeah, Caulfield at number 7. Yeah.
Corbett.
Corbett, the Cork man, yeah, number 15.
Was he Cork, is he? Sorry.
He's Cork, yeah. He got the
very,
goal in
very
the first
good
half.
player,
So,
yeah.
DCU brought an awful lot to this, and they'll be very disappointed to be going down the road with nothing after what they put into it. But it's Queens who have won, and it's they who go on, and they are through to the next round. Or actually, no, do they go through? No, they do go into the next round. They go into round 2, so they will be, I think, at home next week against Carlow or TUS Midlands. But there is the DCU huddle after the game, and it looks a little bit more sombre, as you would expect. But we hope you have enjoyed the coverage from this Electric Ireland round 1 game in the Sigerson Cup for 2024. We have another one tomorrow night. We're going to Abbottstown to do UCC against Ulster University, another round 1 game, and they'll be hard pushed to get a good exciting finish like we had here tonight. We're going to go on and get a little bit of reaction, if we can, to that dramatic finish. But for now, from all of the team here at the Dub Arena in Belfast, it's goodbye.